But now let's kick into the Ripper. We've got Sean Byers, who works on weapon design, and then Joe is back again. So quick, so good to see you again.
Joe's always here.
Yeah. So Ripper is obviously, we've talked about it enough already, but like there's so much more to talk about, like the design process, how you guys kind of decided to approach this, and you know why the Ripper kind of came to be.
Yeah, for sure. The Ripper started with it was kind of my vision for what the future of weapons might go in a direction of like what's popular in industrial design today and what's lightweight. It's modular. You can take all the pieces off. Everything is designed with function. It's super lightweight, very compact. You can extend the barrel out to make it more accurate. And yeah, the weapon was was supposed to be fun, something different. It feels really awesome, and that's probably the best part about the gun is that it plays really well in game.
How difficult or not difficult was it to balance between SMG and AR?
Joe.
It's an interesting challenge. Something that people don't really realize is sometimes is that the eye position changes depending on what mode you're in. Just like our SMGs, the eye is a little bit farther away from the iron sights versus the assault rifles where it's closer. And what that actually does is you'll feel kick more when the eye is zoomed in more because your eye is going up a lot faster, or there's more of a transition. And so that made it actually a pretty big challenge so that I could, because the kick didn't change between the two modes. I actually had to, we had to do some smart stuff to be able to create this weapon post-ship and get it in there and get it working. So it was a big challenge. I ended up having to tone down the kick a lot on the SMG so that the AR, so you didn't feel it when we switched to the reflex sight.
And the SMG shoots like butter.
Yeah. That's the best.
Yeah. So a question from Twitter. This comes from Tash. She asks, "What guns would you say inspired the development of the Ripper?" I would imagine, like both modern and in-game, or even future stuff.
A little bit of the MSBS. I really thought that looked futuristic, but honestly, the movie Oblivion, the guy who designed everything in that movie did such a wonderful job. Everything had great shape language, and I didn't take his gun design at all. It looks nothing like this gun, but just that idea of fully thinking out a design from start to finish, everything about it, the way you can hold it. There's actually 4 different ways you can hold the front grip. It's very ergonomic, feels good. All those things go into designing something that can be realistic, and that was really one of my main goals artistically and design-wise was for that, was to be very believable.
Something that Sean's really good at, something he really puts focus on, is making sure that the gun functions, or planning for function, and that allows our animators, so he makes sure that the magazine clips in properly, that there's actually a piece to unlock the magazine. They're all
There's actually two on this gun.
See, there you go. Sorry. There's 2 pieces. But that kind of attention to that detail makes it so that the animators have things to use. Like you notice the gun pumps, when you pull it out, it actually extends. All of these things are from Sean and how he designs for how does this work mechanically, and then that allows the animators to have tools to make really cool animations.
Which makes it more interesting on screen for sure.
Yeah, it's an awesome looking gun. Another question from Twitter. This comes from Johnny. He asks, "How did you come up with the name The Ripper?"
Well, the Ripper the name comes from this is a Federation weapon, right? It was built in South America somewhere. The company is actually founded there, the Fate Company, right? And like the AK-47 is actually a very devastating weapon. People, U.S. soldiers are afraid of that gun because if it's put in someone's hands, it's very accurate. They can destroy anything. And so the idea with the Ripper is that the American soldiers were like, "Oh my God, this gun's scary. This thing goes into a room and rips it up, and it can kill, or it can destroy targets farther off in the distance." So hence the name The Ripper. You go into a room, rip it to shreds, and go on your merry way. That's where the name kind of comes from.
Yeah, and King also asked a very good question. How long does it take to design something like the Ripper?
It took me about a week of drawing ideas and showing Joe, the designer, showing animators, showing the other artists in on our team what's cool, what did I like, and then we go through iterations. But this was actually my first drawing. I went back to this one, and that's what I made because it was the coolest, and I kind of started getting derailed the more I would draw out ideas.
Our guns usually take like 2 months, even 2 months plus to do, because we have to do the next gen, the current gen, the different levels of detail for the gun, animations, art's got to go crazy, but with the Ripper, we had this idea of giving it out early for season pass holders. So that as soon as that idea came out, we really had to kind of like do something we hadn't done before, where we actually had like 3 animators work on the gun simultaneously. We had multiple artists helping where they could, just so we could get this thing done, and we did it. It's pretty crazy. I think it was under a month.
Did it in like 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, it was nuts. but the idea of giving our season pass holders, our really serious fans, something cool early, like we were like, all right, let's make this happen.
Well, and then in terms of just sort of like the collaboration involved, obviously, Sean, this is like very much your baby, but like, how much kind of riffing goes back and forth between the designers and other members of the staff?
Tons. I mean, I'll take any type of feedback I can get. There was actually a sound in there. Credit to the sound team. They're so talented, incredible. They put something in. I was like, I don't know if I can handle it making a noise. It's not supposed to make a noise. And Steve Miller was like, dude, just come into my room, listen to this. This is really good. Sat me down, I listened to it, I was like, all right, dude, you know what you're talking about. It's awesome. And my roommate was playing the gun one day, and he's like, oh, I love the sounds on this thing. And I was like, yep, you're right. So you're not always right, and it's always great to take collaboration from anyone in the studio or, from home or anywhere like that.
When we do the balancing of the gun, a lot of times I'll get a gun stubbed in using another gun. I think I used the Vepr with a hybrid scope, made it integrated, made it give it to you by default when you chose that gun, got some initial tuning pass in so I could actually get a feel for how this gun might work, while Art's doing their thing, get it into playtest. Then as soon as we need to start integrating animations, everything, rip it out, and then and get it in as fast as possible.
Darren asks from Twitter, and again, if you want your question read, please tweet at us at IGN or at Call of Duty with the hashtag Devastation Day. He asks, is the Ripper better as an assault rifle or as an SMG? Is it balanced proportionately?
It's perfect for like when you're in a close quarters combat. You want to use SMG, but if someone's far away, switch it over to the assault rifle. That's what makes it visceral, makes it fun, makes it different to use, and that was the whole point of doing something different for DLC, right? Like switch it up. Don't just have an M4 that just shoots. Like let's make the iron sights fold up, make it more accurate, longer range, or accurate at close range. So yeah, you want to use both modes.
Is the damage difference higher when you switch between both?
It actually extends the damage range, so the damage profile doesn't change, but the range of your damage that you're doing does. And so yeah, when you switch to AR, you slow down your fire rate a little bit, become a little bit more stable, but you're hitting them, you're gonna take them out faster. The gun, like I prefer it personally, I like the SMG mode. But another really cool thing is the way that rapid fire works on the gun. Rapid fire actually accelerates the AR mode as well. So if you can afford the rapid fire attachment, if you can give up, I think, extended mags for that, it's pretty beast with the AR and rapid fire mode.
And there's no limitation in the attachments you can use, right? Like
the scope's integrated, so it will block other scopes.
Okay.
But we talked about it earlier. Like the sights on it are awesome. It's like some of the best iron sight and reflex that we have in the game. Yeah. But otherwise, you can use this. It looks really good with the silencer on it. Actually, that visually the silencer just kind of connects with the gun.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the
time.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
We're gonna switch over. We're gonna talk about how you guys brought Dome back to life and to the next gen with Unearthed. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Really appreciate it.